Welcome back to Nostalgianomics. How's everyone doing today? I'm like, you know what? I'll just go live. Let's just go hang out. I don't really feel like doing the whole recording of video and uploading and all that today. So I thought we could just get in here and talk it out. And that way I could just interact with you guys live in the chat and not have to worry about going through the comment section afterwards. So as a lot of you know, I do a weekly podcast now on Pokemart USA's channel. And there were some questions that were coming in there yesterday that just made me want to make this video because, you know, again, I don't watch a ton of content when it comes to Pokemon content anymore. And someone in the comments there said that, like, I guess someone was saying that you can't grade modern Pokemon cards anymore, or they're not selling anymore, and the market's drying up and things like that. And it really couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, I guess you could maybe say the easy money's gone. Like maybe the whole Z&G Emporium never punished thing is going away, because you can definitely get punished if you don't know what you're doing. But I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, I grade and sell primarily modern cards. Like that's now for me, I'm not like one of the big sellers, right? Like I don't move millions of dollars of merchandise. It's not the largest part of my business, right? A lot of the other things are. And so, yeah, maybe, you know, other people in other markets selling different things, maybe seeing some things, or maybe some collectors are upset, or maybe people who are, you know, just here for the easy money type thing, when you could just throw anything and everything at grading and it comes back and you immediately get free money when, you know, the whole CGC bandwagon was going on. Like, okay, maybe, right? Or maybe when black labels were just starting to become like a thing in Pokemon that everyone was chasing, and the, you know, the Hidden Fates Charizard was going for 10 grand or whatever it was. Great, right? But other than that, I don't get it, right? Everyone, you know, people talking about the market cooling off, and like even I'm starting to get, I found myself like even on Eli's stream, I was getting on that bandwagon, like, yeah, maybe things are getting, you know, downplayed, or, you know, talking about the short prints and talking about people not buying. I'm like, wait a second, wait, stop, Alex, stop. Don't go down this rabbit hole of believing all the BS out there. Look to the numbers, as you always do. The numbers will tell you. And if the numbers say things are down, then things are down. The only issue is the numbers don't show that. And I've done videos like this before where I've showed the data, and I'm going to do it again today. And you guys, you know, it can be repetitive all at once, but there's new people that subscribe to this channel every day. There's people that miss those videos. And I think all of this needs to be shown, because it's not just Pokemon, right? It's the whole economy. I mean, it's the world economy. And I don't know as much about the world economy, so I'm not going to pretend I do. But I know a good amount about the U.S. economy. I keep up with things pretty closely, right? I mean, I pay close attention to the markets. I handle all my own investments in our you know, IRAs, Roth IRAs, my regular brokerage account. And I keep pretty up to date on a lot of that news. Like I said, I don't watch a ton of Pokemon content. I watch that kind of content though. I watch entrepreneurial content. I watch, you know, Pokemon or you know, stock market trading type content, all that type of stuff. And all the data just doesn't show it, right? Now, the headlines, right? If you look at the headlines, the CNN and the MSNBC, the headlines, they are going to make you think the sky's falling. They're going to show things like credit card debts at 1 trillion. Or they're going to show like these crazy headlines about U.S. consumer debt, or you know, foreclosures on houses, and they're rising and stuff. So what I did, I'm going to show you all the real data, the actual data from legitimate sources. So you're not having to chase the headlines, and you're not having to, and I'm going to show you data from eBay. The eBay actually puts out its sales data, guys. You guys can look up this yourself. It's available for everyone. I'm going to show you my numbers. I'm going to show you my sales, what I'm actually selling, what's actually selling in today's market. It's gonna surprise you. It's probably going to blow your mind, because, guys, it's not bad out there. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to get it through. I'm just going to keep trying to be the voice of reason and the light in the darkness that this YouTube space is. I mean, every day you turn on YouTube, and I'm not mentioning names, but it seems like every day there's another, you know, oh, this person stole from them, or this scammer, or, you know, card shop was robbed, or, you know, someone scammed someone on eBay, or TCG Player. And it's just like, it's so monotonous, like to constantly fill your head with that garbage. Because I've said it a million times. I've been on eBay for 12 years, been on TCG Player for a certain amount of years now, never been scammed at one time. Have I had like cards and untracked envelopes get lost in the mail? Sure. Now, could you say, well, that person scammed you? They really got the envelope. They're just saying they didn't get it. Okay, possibly. So maybe I've been scammed for a single card worth probably under $20. Big deal, right? More than likely, it probably did get lost in the mail. It happens. But I've never been scammed. Never been scammed for a big item, or, people tell me like a box is unsealed. Like, that's a big thing going around right now. Everyone's saying, oh, you're not going to be able to sell sealed boxes in the future because people are going to say they were resealed. Or never had that happen. Sold hundreds of sealed boxes. Never had that happen. No issues. So I don't know where all that comes from. I am going to shout out Alejandro in the chat. Always here showing love. Folks, I am back. Nice to catch you live. It's been a while, busy with life lately. I hope all is well, Alex. All is well, man. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad all is well. Happy you were able to catch the live. Let's see who's in here. Then I'll jump into all the boring stuff, right? That no one actually wants to see. I don't know why they tune in for this. Treo, is there a way to add your Discord emotes to YouTube? That would be elite level. I'll look into that. I think I can do that. Yeah, for sure. And I think I've reached enough members now where I can add more emotes too. So that's cool because YouTube has like levels you have to get to add a certain amount of emotes. I think I can do that. Possum Bud's recent video was hinting that grading is about to crash. Yeah, I mean, everyone's video, like Possum Bud's one person, but it's just like, I don't know if people just, because there's two things, guys. One, you have to realize it's YouTube. You saw the title of my videos. You see the thumbnails. They're built to get you to click, right? Also, the content is on my channel. I try to gear it as much towards legitimate facts, investing data, how to make money, how to, navigate this market as possible. But, you have to understand people want views, and they're going to talk about things that are, in the limelight, that get views, that people, hit people's pain points and get people to interact and leave comments and get mad. And so, I understand why people talk about it. It makes sense. So, but I'm sure Possum Bud isn't the only person. Everyone's talking about grading crashing and modern products not selling, Scarlet and Violet's all going downhill, whatever it may be. What's up? Pokemart TCG's here. We got Treo saying the numbers are down. All SV boxes are trash price. What other numbers matter? We'll get into it, man. You let me know at the end. What you think. Do you think Lugia Neo Genesis is a good investment card? Man, here's the thing. People think I'm like a vintage hater. I'm not a vintage hater. It's just, if it's like if you're trying to like have a collection and like have something that holds value, it may make sense, right? But for me, even though it's fallen from, X amount to where it's at now, there's still so much more risk involved in buying a high-end slab like that than there is buying like a $80 or $90 modern booster box. So if anyone asks me as an investment, I'm always going to say I think modern sealed in the 80s or 90s is probably a better investment. If you're saying, is it a cool collection piece to where I actually want it and I think it can still gain value over time? Yeah, then maybe you're right? Maybe it can still gain value over time. Boondock, you don't have much to catch up on, man. We're just the friendly hellos. Friends, it's a pretty timeless art. It's a great market for buying in vintage at the moment. Matt, Alex, what's up? I got cards from the live stream. Thanks for the fast shipping and great card protection. Absolutely. Matt, you know what? Before we get started in this video, I should probably shout that out. I just got them listed. The next box break packs are live, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen before we do all that. Got them up. We're going to have another box break tomorrow, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. This time, we're going to do Silver Tempest. We're going to do Paldea Evolved and Hidden Fates. Guys, Paldea Evolved has been asked about lately. So I said, okay. And then Hidden Fates has been surprisingly being talked about a lot. People have asked me when I'm going to have Hidden Fates again. I wasn't planning on opening more Hidden Fates, but people have been asking for it. So, hey, Hidden Fates is back up. So we got Silver Tempest booster packs, Paldea Evolve booster packs, and Hidden Fates for the next box break tomorrow night. It happens on the channel. As always, they're all going to be sealed products, right? Sealed booster boxes and sealed ETBs. No loose packs, none of that funny business. Everything's opened up live on stream. So you can go to nostalgianomics.com and buy them there and then show up at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And we're going to open them up. Have some fun. Let's see. Bass Toy says, what's good, brother? Tuning in from London. We got overseas in the chat. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into some of this spice here today. All right, here we go. First up, this is eBay's back-end analytics, right? It's the TerraPeak research, right? You can find it here, research tab, TerraPeak product research, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some things. First up, okay, I took Pokemon and I sorted it by just the individual cards, right? I didn't go the whole Pokemon. So a lot of people always think, well, Alex, you got to filter out plushies and video games. No. I filtered all that out. This is just individual cards, all right? So last month, right, for December 17th through January 17th, this was last year, right? So the last 30 days of last year, the average sale price of individual cards was $27, okay? The total sales were 11 million. This year, same exact time frames, right? December 17th, January 17th, 23 to 24. Average price of $37.81, 23 million in sales. 23. Guys, 23 million. Last year, 11 million. Average sold price, 27. Average sold price, 31. Tell me again how things are so much worse off now in Scarlet and Violet compared to end of 2022 when we were getting Crown Zenith, when we were still having, full force on Sword and Shield product. I'm waiting. Can anyone tell me what's going on here? Let's move on. Let's go a whole year, right? Or sorry, this is 90 days. 90 days first, all right? So October 17th through January 17th of this year, right? The last 90 days, all right? $39 average sale price, 72 million, all right? Now, if we do the same exact thing, right? I messed up. Let's do it live. I'm not trying to cherry pick any data, okay? Where are we going? So we need to go all the way back to October 17th, 2022 to October 17th, 2023. Or sorry, to this January 17th, 2023. All right, fair. So we're at 72 million, 39 average price, okay? Ready? 33 average price, 72 million. Literally basically the same. Basically the same in the last 90 days. I think this is like a couple $100,000 higher. Almost no change. And then we look at the year's time, okay? We look at January 1st, 2022 through January 1st, 2023. Same thing. 35 average sale price, 254 million. Ready for this? January 1st, 2023 through 2024. 39 average sale price, 288 million. 254 to 288. 2023 was better than 2022 by about 10% or more than 10%. We had more than 10% increase of people buying Pokemon cards on eBay in 2023. Last thing I wanted to mention, Pokemon booster boxes. Trail, this is what you were talking about. Scarlet Violet booster boxes. No one's buying booster boxes anymore. Pokemon booster boxes, 22 to 23. Okay. Oh, I messed up. That's January 31st. We want first. All right. Pokemon booster boxes. Average sale price, $100 last year. 45 million total sales. All right. Or 2 years ago, 2022 to 2023. And now we go 2023 to 2024. Okay. 114 average price, 51 million in sales. 45 to 51, over 10%. 114 average price to 100. So people are now buying more booster boxes on eBay and they're paying more on average per booster box. And then you say, well, Alex, it's because booster boxes have appreciated. Booster boxes have always appreciated every year. In 2022, people are buying appreciated booster boxes from early Silver or early Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, right? It's always like that. The fact is people are paying more on average for booster boxes this year, and they're buying more of them than they did last year or a year ago, whatever. The last, 22 to 23 compared to 23 to 24. These are just the numbers, folks. Just the numbers. There's no bias here. There's not me trying to sway you. There's no YouTubers trying to push agendas. It's just the numbers that eBay puts out. Now we're going to go into more, economic type stuff. Now, people outside the U.S., maybe it's not as important for you. Maybe a lot of world economies mimic the U.S. and start sort of follow. So we are going to cover this because I think it's important. First up, we're hearing how no one's investing money, no one can afford to live, everyone's struggling to pay their bills. Well, then how can Bank of America in 2023 put out this? Americans' average 401k balances have increased nearly 10% since 2022. This quarter, in 2023, when everything's doom and gloom and bad, right? This quarter, many more of the 4 million workers of Bank of America analyzed increased their contribution rate than decreased it. So people are now putting more money into their 401ks monthly than they were previously. How can people continue to invest more money if no one has any money? That's odd. That's strange, right? That's strange. It's not headline worthy, right? It's not headline worthy. Now, here's what's headline worthy. U.S. credit card debt is over $1 trillion. We're all going to zero. No one can afford to live. It's certainly not because people are making more money, right? And then they're buying more things and then they're paying for those things because they make more. That's certainly not the case, right? Nope. No one can afford to live. That's why things are on credit cards. Well, are any of those on 0% interest credit cards or any of those? No, Alex, people they can't afford to live. Okay, no problem. So let's look at the numbers though, right? Because we should actually look at the data. Delinquency rate on credit card loans. Here's the articles you've been seeing. Credit card rates they're skyrocketing on delinquencies. That's because in Q3 of 2021 they were down here, and then now they're up here, right? They doubled. Everything's going to crap. What about back here, guys? Remember in the 90s when everything was good, the economy was good, you never hear bad stuff, everyone was doing great. Remember back here in the the 2000 teens, everything's great. It was after the recession, everyone's doing good, everything's great. Look at the delinquency rates every other time in history. We have just now reached what it used to look like in the 2000 teens. We're still way under what it looked like in the 90s. But we're told delinquency rates are too high. No one's got any money. No one can afford to pay their bills. Well, guess what? 98% of Americans, 97% of Americans are paying their bills just fine. Okay? And then we go to more news articles, right? The foreclosures. U.S. foreclosure activity increases. It's increasing. But then you go read the article, right? You read the article, and it says U.S. properties in 2023, foreclosures are up 9%. And then they're up 193% since 2001. Well, could that be because 2001, so we saw all-time lows? Is that the reason? Because if you keep reading, it says, but they're down 20% from 2019 and down 87% from the peak in 2009. Here's what the actual chart looks like. Here's where we are. Do you see a problem? Or is this just a normal amount of foreclosures when, things are a little tighter? Do you see anything skyrocketing? Do you see any issues here? No, but that wouldn't make a headline. You got to say things are crashing to get headlines nowadays, guys. Here's a little farther out chart. This is a U.S. Mortgages. Look right here. Single family residential mortgages delinquency rate. Here's where we are. We are near the lowest time in history. The only time we were lower was like kind of before the recession back here in the early 2000s. That was it. We are now still lower than we've been. Okay. Moving on. Delinquency rate on all loans, all consumer loans, personal loans, car loans, whatever, all consumer loans. Lowest rates ever of delinquencies. Look back here in the 90s. Things were good. Well, why were delinquencies so high? Look back here in the 90s, 2000s. Well, why were the delinquencies higher than they are now? Why? If everything's so bad, why is everyone paying their bills? Shouldn't people stop paying their bills when things are that bad? What am I missing? What am I missing, people? Before I get into more, let's see what the chat's saying. I got to know what you guys think about this. What am I missing here? Are things being overblown by the media like always? Let's see what's going on. All right. We got Andrew. Okay. Would you recommend using someone else for my first grading submission? Using someone else? You mean like as a middleman? You can, man, if you're really, uncomfortable with doing it. I mean, I'm going to have a video coming out within the next week or two of the whole process and what it takes. It's really simple and easy. If I were you, I would just wait till I come out with that video. I'll take you through the entire process from start to finish, show you just how easy it is, and you could probably just do it yourself. But you could always do that. It's all because of the Van Gogh and 151. Don't believe this trash data. Oh, man. Now that people are avoiding CGC, do you think the market will accept a new grading label? No, guys. I don't think anyone realizes what most collectors want. Collectors like stability. Collectors want something they can trust, right? And even though PSA has issues now and then, they have blips here and there, and a mistake here and there. Overall, it's trusted service by majority of collectors and all hobbies. I was just on the phone last night with a sports card collector and investor, and he was telling me about how he tried to go with some of these other grading services like SGC, but even those values just aren't holding up like PSA. And PSA is still like the premier one that everyone trusts in sports. And it just is what it is, guys. Like, I know everyone loves underdogs, and they're always looking for the next big thing, guys. PSA is the gold standard in grading, right? If you want to take the moonshot and go for the black labels, great. Otherwise, just stick to PSA. Anything other than like the pristine black label highest level, anything lower than that, 9.5s, 9s, 8s, 7s, PSA is going to be your better option. It's way more liquid. It's what more collectors want. It's going to get you higher prices. That's all I really got to say about it. Like, now their wait times are going down. I'm starting to get bulk orders back in under 2 months. I don't know why people are just so against going with PSA. I don't think other grading services are going to like rise up and be the next, top tier, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they could, maybe some new one will come up and eventually. I just don't see it. People are spending money for sure, but it's still pouring to Sword and Shield sets before SV. I mean, that it's true and it's not true though. Like, you can look up the sales data. I mean, we are moving through cases and cases worth of Scarlet Violet product every day on eBay. It's wild, guys. Trejo, everything's fake, right? Everything's fake. Everyone who joined 2 to 3 years ago is learning how the game works and realizing Sword and Shield, and people aren't coming back. No rush in Scarlet and Violet. People aren't coming back? All right. I mean, I just don't see that. Come on now. Don't look at actual data numbers. Just turn your brain off and worry. The sky is falling. Just believe the headlines, guys. Look at the catchy thumbnails. Believe your favorite YouTubers that all talk doom and gloom. Just believe them, guys. Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm going to get into some of my numbers. Like, full transparency. I don't care, guys. I just don't care. Here's the thing. Buying and selling is just a portion of my business and what I'm trying to do. And so, like, my numbers aren't going to be these big, crazy numbers you see from other people. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to – I'll be 100% honest. I don't want to be just a full-time Pokemon seller. It doesn't excite me. I think it's a great addition to what I'm trying to do, but, like, I'm not trying to be that. So my numbers aren't going to be as big as other people you see. I'm not trying to show them to like brag about being big, my big numbers. I'm trying to show you what's selling. So here is my eBay. Okay. This is public. You can see it. This is what I list. All right. I have a little first edition base left. All right. But otherwise, guess what I sell? I sell the exact stuff people are telling you not to sell, right? Don't grade modern slabs. Modern slabs aren't moving, right? Guys, look at my eBay. 90% of it is, guess what? You guessed it, modern slabs. That's what I sell, is modern slabs. There's some raw singles and there's some first edition base left. Otherwise, it's majority modern slabs. All right, fair? Okay. Here's my back end. Showing you my back end. Oh my gosh. Here's my sales, guys. Last 7 days. Okay, 6 grand. Last 31 days, 16. Last 90 days, 38 grand. Okay, this year, already almost 10 grand. All I can tell you is, if you go back and look at here, I don't keep a huge inventory like a lot of people do. I have almost 200 listings, about almost 30 grand in inventory, and I'm moving through over 30 grand in 90 days. So I'm flipping more than my entire inventory in my store in 90 days. That's how fast this stuff is selling. You guys know I've shown my PSA submissions come back. I primarily grade modern. If I can find random vintage cards in lots or collections that I buy, or at my card shop where I can look at it in person, or I've been grading some, PSA 1-worthy base set Charizards because they sell for some reason, I mix in vintage. Majority of what I mix in, though, is XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, and Scarlet Violet era modern. That's my expertise. That's what I stick with. That's the majority of what's selling, okay? Going further with this. Here's my recent sales, just to prove it to you. Here you go. There's no customers' names here. Here you go. XY Magikarp. We got the Iono. Here's a first ed base. Modern, modern single, modern single, modern, modern single. Here's a Yu-Gi-Oh single, modern single. Here's some first edition base. Modern, modern, Yu-Gi-Oh. Here's first ed base, all right? Modern, 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 Yu-Gi-Oh, modern singles, modern, modern, modern. Like, it's all modern graded cards, guys. There's no secrets here. There's no secrets. Modern cards, they're still gradable. They still have margins, and they still freaking move. So people telling you, like, the interest is starting to lose, the sales are still, they're popping. They're picking up. The majority of what I sell is modern slabs. The majority of what I grade is modern slabs. I've talked about it before. When I get an order back, I list everything pretty much immediately. About 30% of it, I would say, sells immediately within the first week or two. Another probably 30-40% sells within the first month, 5-6 weeks probably. And then the other 30% sits a little while, right? Maybe because it's less popular cards, the price point's too high. Some things I don't list at lowest list is because they're harder to grade and harder to get in. So I want to get more top dollar for them. I'll wait for the right buyer. I won't just blow it out. And so, but yeah, everything sells. And so I find it, I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling to figure out what all these YouTubers and people know that I don't, right? Because I don't get it. Maybe it's because I keep my head more buried in the sand and I stay out of the YouTube drama these days. I stay off everyone's channel. I don't really look at what other people are doing, and I just kind of stay in my own lane and do my thing. But as far as I'm saying, everything's up. Everything I see is up. Other people I talk to, their sales are good. They might not tell you that, but they are. And I don't get it. So that's why I wanted to make this video. People are not drowning in this economy for the most part, right? Of course, there's people out there struggling. No one's denying that. And our hearts need to go out to them. If you ever come across someone struggling and you're doing good financially and you can handle it, help them out. That's what being a good person's about. Help them out if you can afford to, right? Get them some food. Buy them something they need, right? Help them out if they're struggling. But when we talk about numbers and data, this is the average American. The average people are paying their credit card bills, right? They're not foreclosing on their houses. They're paying their other debts. They're continuing to contribute to their 401k, some of them more. And they're buying freaking Pokemon cards. Simple as that. That's the main point of this entire live today, guys. If you take nothing else, take this. Try to drown out the headlines. Try to drown out the catchy thumbnails and titles on YouTube and the drama and everything's doom and gloom and this is bad and that's bad and people aren't buying these anymore and people don't like this and this person hates that person. Try to drown it out and see and just look for the numbers. You don't need me to do this. Do it yourself. Anyone who has an eBay account can look up those eBay sales statistics on Terapeak. Anyone can pull up the Federal Reserve or the Fed website and look up those numbers. Anyone can find all this information for themselves. Now, you can't see my sales data all the time, but you can ask around how people are doing. Ask them if they want to share their numbers with you. You can take your own numbers into account and what you're selling and how well it's moving. But guys, I'm just here to try to show you reality, try to show you truth. Like, I'm not trying to sway anyone in any way. If you're struggling, if money's tight, don't buy right now, right? Take care of yours and your home and your life first, right? This is money on top of living expenses, right? This is money that you're putting towards a disposable income. But don't play it both ways. Don't act like everything's doom and gloom if someone out there struggling or you can't let that bleed into your own mindset and start making you think differently or think otherwise. Because guys, everything's strong. I'm going to keep telling you it's strong as long as I see these numbers. Hey, look, guys, if I looked at these numbers and they told a completely different story, you don't think I would tell you that? You don't think I would get on here and say, hey, guys, it looks like things are really cooling off. It looks like sales are really slumping. It looks like things are on the rise and people aren't paying their bills and salaries are down and people are they're taking all their money out of their 401ks and our country's struggling and people as a whole are struggling. It looks like the Pokemon market is in for some doom and gloom, dark times. I tell you that. I don't want people to get hurt. It's just the numbers don't show it. I can't just go off what someone on the news said or what one person I know is going through some hard times or some struggles or one person lost their job or, some tech companies are laying people off. We can't go off that. We have to go off averages when we talk about this. And so for what it's worth, guys, there's the data. Hope it helps. I'll take some questions before we get out of here, but I'm not going to keep you all afternoon. I just thought all this stuff was, it was worth talking about. So let me go back into the chat, see what you guys got to say. If you guys got any questions about it, let me know. I'd be happy to answer it. Let's see. I haven't even heard them talk about the market. They don't want us to know. Alex, why hasn't TCG Fish updated sales since December 22nd? I have no clue. I haven't had contact with those guys. It does seem like they're pretty behind. I checked some cards today, and yeah, they're pretty behind still right now. Definitely waiting for that video about grading. Then, can you make a paywall for nothing behind it with nothing behind it, guys? Paywalls are not bad things. If you guys don't remember, I've never been anti-paywall. I got the whole anti-pay. People thought I was anti-paywall because me and I'm not going to even mention names. Me and someone else on YouTube had major beef. And so I was talking negatively about a certain Patreon. I've never had issues with people having Patreons. I think Patreons are good things. One, it's a way to just support your favorite creators, right? If you like the stuff, the data you're being shown, if you like the content, whether it be for entertainment purposes, whatever it may be, and you want us to help support them so they can keep doing that and they can dedicate more time towards it, that's a reason to donate to someone's Patreon, right? If there's information they're putting behind there, look, I'll be the first one to tell you. I would never tell you, I would never create a Patreon and say, hey, behind my Patreon, and I'm not saying I'm not going to create a Patreon. I might have one coming, but I would never say this is secretive data or, oh, you need to get into this Patreon if you want this data. Otherwise, you're not going to know what's happening. No. But when you put together large amounts of data and, it's very valuable, especially when it's put forth at the right time and it gets certain things in front of people's eyes, it can be valuable at that time. And it can be valuable for that person not to have to go out and compile all that data themselves or watch 100 different YouTube videos and a bunch of different creators and spend all that time trying to find all that data. So finding all that data, putting it together, compressing it in a digestible format, that can be valuable. That's a good reason to donate to a creator, right? Any other benefits, right? Obviously, things like Eli's or Rudy's Patreon with, wholesale access. That's a reason to have a Patreon. Any other type of discounts or benefits you can get. There's a ton of reasons to have paywalls. There's nothing against paywalls. The only thing I'm against is when you start having things like, oh, well, we can't talk about any of that stuff. That happens behind the paywall, or that's secretive information. We don't want that stuff to get out. That's what I have a problem with, right? That's when it goes too far. And yeah, I am against that kind of paywall. But yeah, the grading. Oh yeah. So back to that question. The grading videos is going to be on the regular channel. I don't have a Patreon, guys. But it's going to be on the regular channel. It's going to take you through. I'm going to do a submission live on stream. I probably won't do a whole submission. I'll probably have most of it done, but I'll put in a few cards so you see how it works. Go through the whole submission process. Go through the whole, how to package your cards, how to ship them, how to fill out the paperwork, and how it all works, how it looks on PSA's back end. I'll show you my whole submission I'm going to send in. And yeah, God, my nose is really dry and itchy. It's cold out, getting dry weather. But yeah, so it'll take you through the whole process. And I'm also going to do a whole eBay TCG player listing tutorial type video where I show you just how easy it is. Because everyone wants to, this is other rhetoric that's always out there about some people out there are like, well, wait when it comes time to sell. Just wait until these people have to sell their stuff. They don't even know. They don't know how hard it is to build an account and get feedback. Guys, it's overblown. It's not hard. Anyone can do this. And I'm going to show you just how easy it is. We'll talk about building your feedback. I mean, it's as easy as listing a whole bunch of, you know, lower priced items that you don't mind taking a little bit of a bath on, right? Like selling a bunch of $1 to $5 cards, shipping them all out, right? Getting that tracking, right? Getting, you know, getting some feedback built up, and then you can start selling your higher value items and things like that. I'll show you exactly how easy it is to make titles and list and picture and all that type of stuff. It's really easy. And again, probably not be for everyone. A lot of it's going to be just, you know, repetition. They've already done it before, but I think it'll help a lot of people. So yeah, those videos are coming. Andrew, just stay tuned for that in the next couple of weeks when I get a chance to make those. Then you're over the scary hump and you do it your submit. Yeah, submit yourself. I always say submit yourself if you can. Here's the thing, like, you know, you may not think you're going to submit a lot, but guys, even 100 cards a year, like over the whole course of the year, if you can find just 100 cards to grade, it makes that $99 membership cost you literally less than $1 per card. So like when you see those grading specials, like $15 for bulk, it's $16 a card. Like after you add in that the whole membership fee. Don't be afraid of the membership. It's just it gets divided out over all the cards you send in. It's not that much overall. It just looks like a big scary number up front. Do you think Rudy will turn around PCG? I mean, I'm excited to see it. I mean, it's the same thing I say with everyone else. It's so hard to compete against the Goliaths in that industry, but turnaround is like it's kind of a loaded question. Do I think it's going to be a very fair, honest, you know, grading service? Yeah, I think he's going to do well there. Do I think he'll bring in more business just because of, you know, he's a good business-minded individual. He's got a good following. Yeah, I think he's going to do that. So in those terms, yeah, he's going to turn it around. In terms of like competing with PSA and Beckett and those, then I don't know about that. That's a whole nother story. Like he'd probably need investors and a lot of money and marketing dollars, and he, you know, probably needs some luck, some things to go his way to ever get to that level. That's a whole different story. Happens in any economy. While people sell and get out of the market because of scary misinformation, market statistics, big investors, low cash, and cash in. Okay. What else? You have sports cards? I don't have any sports cards myself. I talk to others who are in the sports card market just to get a sense of how kind of everything's going as a whole type thing. But I know I'm no sports card expert, not going to pretend to be. Godly Shad, holy, that's a lot of first ed bigs. If you guys don't know Godly Shad, he's a huge vintage lover, vintage investor, collector, whatever he calls himself. So he's always on me about how good vintage is doing. So here, how much of that $6,000 coming from vintage? See, there he is right there. He loves his vintage. More power to him. I mean, I'm happy for anyone. Guys, I am happy for anyone in any way they can find a way to make money in this hobby, right? Anyone can enjoy this hobby and collect what they like and still make a return. It's great. Like I get attacked a lot when people ask me about investing and I tell them modern sealed and they're saying, Alex, you know, why are you always against vintage or why are you against slabs? I'm not against anything. It's just if someone comes to me and says, Alex, if it's strictly about money, if I'm a money motivated person, I want to know where the best place to put my money. I'm going to say, well, if it's me, I'm going to buy a modern sealed booster box in the 80s or 90s when I can find it because the downside risk is so low. And as we've seen, the upside potential is so high. When I look at, you know, slabs or vintage cards, yeah, there's upside potential, but also there's a lot more downside risk still. Just because something goes from 10,000 to 5,000 and it seems like a good deal, it doesn't mean that can't still go to 4,000 and 3,000 and 2,000 and 1,000. It doesn't mean that. Like there's no rule that says things can't keep dropping. Whereas there's no rule that says that with modern boxes either, but there's a time frame of back 9 years since I've been in the hobby showing me that there's never been modern boxes on the open market sell for really under $70. So I know kind of built in that that's kind of the bottom we've ever seen. So I know there's sort of a built-in downside risk built in, whereas, man, buying into these expensive slabs, there's just no telling, right? I mean, you could buy a slab for $1,000 today, and then 3 months from now, it might be selling for $600 or $700, which we've seen recently. And so that's why I'm pro modern seal. That's why I get crap for my vintage, you know, thoughts. But yeah, you can do well with vintage too. No hate. No hate. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't go around and search YouTube for these people. But it was mentioned in my live stream with Eli on his channel. And then other people were like chiming in, I think, saying that. And so I was like, I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from, but apparently people are saying that. And like someone said earlier, Opossum Bud's talking about how the grading slabs are becoming less sought after, and they're starting to slump. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Maybe others are. My sales are fine. I don't know. In fact, while we were on this here, I mean, literally while we were doing this, I just got a sale come in. Here you go. Here we go. The right here, the Flareon, the PSA 10 Flareon from Brilliant Stars just sold for $60. So, I mean, as we speak, I'm getting sales on modern slabs. I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from, guys. I mean, I'm transparent. I'll show you everything. I don't care. Like, I just don't care. I'm not secretive. I'll give you everything. I'm face value. A lot of people think I have like motives or like rhetoric I'm trying to push or nope, just showing you the numbers, just showing you what's working. You can choose to or to not do it yourself. It may or may not work for you, but it's working. Is it worth grading a first edition damaged holo card? Well, yeah. I graded recently 2 base set unlimited Charizards, right? That are I even made them worse, right? I got them. They had creases and bends and stuff. I creased them up a little more. I bent them up a little more, flattened them back out, sent them in because there's a very real PSA 1 market here. We can go ahead and look at this real quick. I'll share my screen. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Base set Charizard, okay, PSA 1, okay? And we can go look at recent sales and see what they're selling for, okay? So let's say Japanese, there's a Stormfront, first edition. See if we can find here. Unlimited. So here's one overseas, United Kingdom, about $150. Here, right here, $144. Oh, that's base set 2. So base set 2, $144, PSA 1. Here you go. That's a EX 6, 7. Where's my ones at? I know one sell. First edition one. There's a one best offer. Here's one at auction right here. PSA 1 Charizard. That's base set 2 again. Where is a regular unlimited that isn't from Australia or UK? Just a US unlimited. Here you go. $300. Base set Charizard unlimited PSA 1, $300. So there's a market for it, guys. And I mean, it's like that for a lot of cards. There's a lot of Z&G Emporium. I've watched some of his auctions where, PSA 1s of tons of vintage or mid-era cards will sell. There's PSA 1 collectors out there. Don't ask me why, but the cards sell. They do well. So yeah, it's still worth grading to get a PSA 1 because you still get that authentication. You get it in the slab, which people like their plastic. People love their graded plastic. Alex, I can get Scarlet Violet base set booster boxes at $80 and Paldea at $85. If you could buy a sealed case of just one, which would it be? Me? I'd buy Paldea Evolved. That's my favorite set so far, next to 151 in Scarlet Violet era. For me, it goes 151. It goes Paldea Evolved right after that. And then if I have to throw another one in, I'll throw Paradox Rift. And then it's, Obsidian Flames and Scarlet Violet base is my last right now. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking Paldea Evolved, even though it's $5 extra a box. Way better set all around. Alex, I need your help. What's up, Roy? How can I help, man? I'm here to help. I think everyone should take everything with a grain of salt. Either you're looking at the sky or you can stare into the ground. Numbers can show both. Average player, I'm going to push you on that. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by numbers can show both? I understand how you can use certain numbers and manipulate certain data points to push a rhetoric, but I'm just showing the numbers at base level. Like those are just the numbers. Like you can spin a story either way. I agree you can spin a story to say one thing or say another, but as far as the numbers, like the numbers are the numbers, right? The numbers are the numbers are the numbers. I don't know about the economy, but my sales on TCG Player have tripled on singles in the past month. There you go, guys. Another person telling you. Another person telling you how it's going. TikTok makes it seem like everyone just paid for dinner with their last 13 bucks they scrapped together. I mean, people in this community, like these you have creators in this community who constantly push this notion that no one in Pokemon has money, right? No one's got money, yet the eBay sales, they rise every year. And you go to these conventions like Collecticon, and you have, people just pulling out wads of cash. Like, I mean, look, I've walked around with wads of cash in my day. All right, I used to be a big baller shot caller. I mean, if I had to guess, $10, $15, $20,000 wads of cash, no joke, no cap. And they just pull it out like nothing. And they're running credit card transactions for $500, $1,000, $2,000, whatever dollars. They're buying, vintage boxes and vintage heavy packs. You see it every day. So I don't get it. I don't get why people want to make this notion that this community, everyone's broke who buys this stuff. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Literally, the majority of everyone I've come in contact with in this hobby, who I've talked with on, Discords or Instagrams or, YouTube or in person, at card shops, everyone seems to be doing well. They have good jobs, stable incomes. A lot of them have two incomes in their family. They got, they're buying stuff for their kids. They're also buying stuff for themselves. They're enjoying the hobby. I mean, I don't know where all these people who are scrapping together their last, 2 nickels to buy a booster pack are, but that's what we're told. We're told no one's got any money in this hobby. I would venture to guess, this is a guess, guys, not a fact. I'd venture to guess the average income of a Pokemon collector is probably higher than the average income of an average American family. I'm just going to say that. I would venture to guess the average Pokemon collector probably has more disposable income than the average person. And that's why they invest in collecting hobbies like this. I have a triple blister containing 2 Flash Fire and 1 base. That's a good blister. I bought it about $130. It's worth about $215. Now, should I sell it or keep it? I can't give you those answers, man. You gotta think what's right for yourself. Everyone's got different things in mind. So I just don't take crystal ball type questions because it could go up more tomorrow. It could go down tomorrow. You never know. If you want to talk doom and gloom, look at food prices. Just don't look at wages, right? Like, don't look at how people have gotten raises and bonuses and none of that. Can you sell me your next PSA 10 Dialga? Man, I can't get it. I can't hit it. Let me think. Yeah, I just got 2 more back. I've sent in 4 more totals since the last one. They've all been 8s and 9s. I get 8s and 9s, 2 8s, 2 9s or something. I have another one that I'm ready to send in. Probably going to get a 9 though. I don't think I can get the 10. I keep finding them. I keep picking them up. I keep sending them. I'm still chasing it. Next one I get, I will let you know. You will know when I hit another 10. But right now, no 10s. I have 8s and 9s available though. But obviously, I'm not making any money off them, right? Because 1, no one wants to buy them, and 2, you just can't grade modern cards anymore. There's no margin to be made. So just don't do what I do. Do you think there will be more than 10,000 PSA 10 Charizard SIRs from 151? Yes, I think so. Yeah, I mean, with the amount of print we saw on the ETBs and UPCs, the amount of packs that are getting opened, you know what, though? I take that back. It seems like more than we think. Because if you look at like Evolving Skies, right? With all the hype that has with the Umbreon VMAX, that card hasn't even reached 10,000. It's going to. But those are booster boxes, right? They have 36 packs. And they also have all the auxiliary items, the ETBs, all the other, all the other nonsense. Whereas the main stuff in 151 has 9 packs in the ETBs and 16 packs in the UPC. So you can see all these UPCs getting open, but think about it. A whole case of UPCs, a whole case is only 64 packs. That's less than 2 booster boxes. Whereas you have Evolving Skies booster boxes being open in mass and like cases where it's like hundreds of packs. And so I don't know. I don't know if they print as much in specialty sets as there are in regular sets. So that's yet to be seen. That's an interesting question. It's possible, though. I wouldn't put it past it. It is an election year. Things are going to get a little spicy. I agree. What were you saying the other day that if Pokemon is over $1,000, it's not liquid? What did you mean by that? Nostalgia Monica? What? Basically just it's the average dollar amount that normal consumers can afford, right? Once you get into those thousands, there's just less people that can even afford those cards, right? Just out of their budget. And then two, the smaller portion of people that are left, those are not going to be impulse purchases, right? People aren't going to say, they're not going to go across an auction and get caught up in a bidding war and buy it at 40 or 50 bucks, or they're not going to like walk into a card shop and buy a $100 box. And so they're less impulse buys. They're more well thought out, like, strategic buys when you get into those levels. It's just, like I said, there's just less sales that happen. I mean, you can just look up the amount of cards and boxes that sell for over $1,000 is a fraction of the amount of boxes that sell for 100 or cards that sell for 100 or less. And so it's just an average, just normal consumerism type stuff. It's kind of like, more Chevys sell than Ferraris. Same type of thing. Or Teslas, right? That's all it is. So how do you think people make mad money from bulk buying? I mean, it's not mad money. It's just, I've talked to multiple people about it. Obviously Eli, Pokemart USA does bulk. Mason, I had just had him on the channel, Cardinal Gaming, and check out that live stream. I think it's the last live stream I've had. It's just, it keeps the bills paid. It keeps the lights on, right? Pretty much anything in life if you've done it enough volume, you're going to make good money, right? I mean, if you sell, if you can get into Walmart and you can sell across every Walmart in the nation, even if you're making a penny or 10 cents per transaction, but you're doing millions and billions of transactions, you're making money. It's the same thing with bulk. If you can buy millions of bulk cards at 1 penny a piece and they're going to sell for 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents now and then, dollar, whatever, with enough transactions and enough people combining those orders, and you're not paying, you're not overpaying for shipping and things like that, it just becomes profitable. Now, this is very hard to do by yourself. That's why a lot of those people who do that have employees helping them with it. They have machines and sorters and all kind of different things to do it successfully. This is something I do? No, I don't want to spend all my time going through bulk. I don't have desire to hire employees to do it for me. So, and how lucrative it is, it varies, right? I don't know, right? People don't share their exact numbers with me. But as far as how lucrative it is, I honestly couldn't tell you. Again, it all depends on volume. I don't know if anyone's becoming multimillionaires doing it. Are they making, thousands of dollars to pay the bills? Yeah, of course. Of course you can do that. How do you learn about investing? Wow. I think it's just kind of in you, right? Like, I remember back when I was like in my early teens, like 14, 15, just starting high school, just kind of starting to learn about some of that stuff and some of the classes. I was just always intrigued by money and investing, and always would ask my dad questions, and always was like paying attention to the markets and watching like, Jim Cramer and stuff and other CNBC shows, and just always interested in it. And I started investing when I was 18. When I was 18, I opened my first brokerage account with Scott Trade, and started investing in stocks and trading stocks and learning more about it and how money worked and things like that. And then just kind of applied that to the Pokemon market when I started to understand that these collectibles were actually a good source of income and investment as well. And it just kind of evolves. So I think it's like anything you're interested in, you're going to seek out more information about it. Like I just talked about a while ago, most of the content I watch nowadays isn't even centered around Pokemon. It's centered around investing. It's centered around the stock market. It's centered around entrepreneurs. It's centered around those things more. I still watch some Pokemon content to keep up on things, but it's just whatever you're interested in, you're naturally going to seek out. And the more you seek it out, the more, well equipped you're going to be, the more you're going to learn and things like that. So yeah, I guess it's just kind of something I've always been interested in. 13th. Wait, hold on. Is he in an igloo? I prefer the Death Star, right? This is like the Death Star back here. 1,300 into Brilliant Stars booster boxes or 1,300 into Evolving Skies booster boxes. Which one performs better in 1 and 3? 1 and 3 years? As you guys know, I don't give any investment advice. All I do is tell you what I would do with my own money. If you choose to do the same, you're welcome to. What I would do with my money is at the current prices. I got to take Brilliant Stars. And the only reason I say that is I see Brilliant Stars getting from the 150s, 160s, whatever it's at, to the 300, 320s faster than I see Evolving Skies getting to $1,000 or $900 a box. So I see the percentage gain in Brilliant Stars happening faster than Evolving Skies. Now, there's a caveat. We could see Evolving Skies catch fire and pull a team up on us. We don't know what the market's going to do. I would say if things continue to average up like they normally do, Brilliant Stars is going to win. We could see something catch fire with the Umbreon VMAX again with Evolving Skies, and we could see a team-up situation where, it jumps to $1,000, $1,500 a box almost overnight in a matter of months. Team-up did it. Don't say it's not possible. But if I was a betting man, I would put my bets personally on Brilliant Stars. What's the best modern card to invest in? No idea. I have no clue, man. I mean, what's funny, like if you talk about a percentage gain, it's probably some like dollar card out there that's gonna like end up being $10 or $20 in the future, or something crazy, and surpass everything. Where no one will really care about it, but it'll probably have the best percent gain. But I have no clue. I mean, here, actually, that's a good conversation. Let's talk about that. If you guys are looking to like invest in singles, sometimes it's not the catchy, like the eye-catchy, obvious things to invest in, right? It's not the alt arts. It's not the tag teams or the full arts and secret rares from XY and the big cards everyone's chasing. Because guys, by the time those are into slabs, this goes back to the vintage conversation. Why I'm not huge on buying vintage slabs. A lot of the value's built in already, right? It's already been. Everyone knows about it. There's no secret, right? And that's why tag teams saw such a huge rise, because no one was looking. They were a good investment, but think about it. If some of these cards are already $100, $200, $300, $400, they could double or triple and get to like, $600, $1,000, but that's it. Whereas if you put that $100 into like, I don't know, $10 cards, that $10 card could be a $25, $30 card in the future. We've seen it happen multiple times. Or that $5 card could end up being a $20 card. Like, you could see better percentage growth in some of these like these under the radar type cards that don't see the proper love until later on. And so sometimes it's better to go with, things that are out of sight, out of mind. So that's something to think about when you're investing in single cards. Single cards are always going to be more risky than booster boxes. Remember that. They're always going to be more risky, but when things take off, they are going to see better percentage gains, right? So you're kind of taking more risk, but you will see more rewards if you catch it right. Don's here, always gifting memberships. Where is Don? Somehow I missed Don. Oh, no, I'm so far back. Thank you, Don. I appreciate you, man. You're always here showing some love. Don, hope you can make the next pack break tomorrow, man. We got Silver Tempest, Crown Zenith, or no, not Crown Zenith, Silver Tempest, Hidden Fates, which Don hit the Sylveon Full Art Shiny last time at Hidden Fates, and Paldea Evolved tomorrow night at 7 p.m., everyone. Nostalgianomics.com if you want to get packs for it. Let's see. Trying to find my spot again. Sorry, guys. That would be a drama-starting conversation. How is bending a card up to make it a PSA 1 not considered altering? LOL. All right, chat, fight about it. It's not altering because you're not altering the, like, that is not altering. That's normal. It's normal wear and tear. You're just upping the rate of the normal wear and tear is all you're doing. One Piece is out of control. Out of control. It's even higher than before. Everything. If you go look at One Piece, all the boxes just keep going. OP5's at $300 a box already. It's a brand new set. It's just, guys, I mean, I'm dumping my cases. I mean, I can't not. Like, I could be completely wrong, but I'm selling off my cases investments. When Paramount War is hitting like hundreds and Pillars of Strings hitting hundreds, like, I could be completely wrong, but I can't not. Like, it's not in me to not take those kind of gains. Like boxes that I paid $80 and $100 for, I'm able to sell at $300 and $400 within like less than a year's time. I take those gains. Me personally, I take those. Everyone else, the true believers, do what you want. Maybe it goes to infinity and I look like an idiot. That's fine, but I can't see it lasting forever. Just my opinion. But One Piece I think is here to stay. Don't get me wrong. I think One Piece is going to be around for a long time. I think it's going to do extremely well. What I'm saying is the rapid increase in prices and these sky high prices on these products that are less than a year old, I don't think that can stick around. One Piece will stick around. We will continue to see price growth over time. It's going to do well as a game. I believe in it. As far as like boxes being $300 out of the gate, no, I don't think that can stick around. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Building battles. Ugh. They're cool promos inside. 4 booster packs. It's a nice display. Do you think people want to collect them? So I kind of made this mistake myself. Back when they were called pre-release kits. And then they became building battles. I was picking them up for a while because I had the same thought process. You know, they're stamped promos. People are going to want them for that purpose. A lot of mine didn't really pan out. I ended up selling a lot of them. I made some money, but like not really. Some I just like broke even just to get out of them. I'm not super a big fan of them just because like if anyone does, the small amount of collectors who do chase those stamps, well, then they want the staff ones, right? They want the staff stamps. They don't even want the regular stamped ones. And so the market's really low. You'll see some growth, but a lot of that growth is going to be from the packs and less about the promos inside. Now, look, obviously there's like a Charizard, Blastoise, Mewtwo, like something that people are going to want. Lugia, it can take off. It can do well for sure. Just be selective with it. Definitely be selective with which ones you move into. I don't know if it's like a blanket statement, like across the board building battles are going to do well. I think some will, and I think some won't. No news on another 151 reprint. No idea. I'm just saying some cards are doing great and some cards are doing bad. The market isn't really measured, in my opinion, like stocks. I mean, that's fair to say, average player, but like your name says, we have to talk in averages. Like if you average all the cards out across the market, on average, they're selling more and they're selling for more on average. Like that's what the numbers show on eBay. And so that tells you on average the market's doing well. Like obviously in every market, like in the stock market, every day there's some stocks are up, some stocks are down. Some cards are up, some are down. But on average, okay, the average booster box is moving up in price. The average singles are selling and selling well and doing well. So it's like I just talk in averages. I'm not going to go through and pick out every individual thing. But yeah, on average, things are doing good, man. Of course there's things down. There's always things down. iFOMO. Would you rather invest in Charizard 151 raw cards and get them graded, or would you rather invest in buying PSA 10 Moonbryons? It's an interesting question because Moonbryon's actually moving up. Moonbryon was very clearly in the middle high 700s, like let's say it was ending for 750 to 780 on average, literally a couple months ago. Now it's ending for 850. Like it's had a very real 10% rise within months. Here's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Guys, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up. You guys need to understand rarity versus scarcity. So a lot of people think there's just too many, right? There's too many graders, almost 10,000 PSA 10. So remember that. There's almost 10,000 PSA 10 Moonbryons, right? Well, look at this. If you type in Umbreon VMAX, all right, 215 PSA 10. Okay. These are sold results. Okay. So out of then we're going to go, let's go to PSA. Let's go to PSA's website. Or, here, it's easier to just search it this way. Go to Google and type in Evolving Skies Pop Report. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a little thing about rarity and scarcity because a lot of people think because the cards are so overprinted, there's not enough, rarity anymore completely for cards to appreciate in value. But what people fail to realize is the scarcity on the market at any given time matters a lot. So if you look at Moonbryon right here, this one. There's 9,855 PSA 10s right now out of 13,000 graded. Okay, so about 70-something% it looks like get 10s, easy to grade, a lot of them out there. But there's only 57 available right now in the open market. Guys, that is like a 0.5% of the entire population of this card is on the market. This means people actually want it. They're holding on to they're holding on to this item. They're not selling it. Okay? 99.5% of people are holding this card and not selling it. Okay? If that continues to be a trend, if people continue to invest in it and hold it, and it becomes more and more scarce, and there's like 10, 20, 30 listings, the price will rise up. It's the way markets work. And now, obviously, then, in prices at certain points, certain collectors and investors will say, okay, maybe I will let it go, and then more come on the market. And it's normal ebbs and flows of the market. But this is one of the reasons the price is moving up. There's so few out there. There's only 57 on the listed. We can look at lowest list. And look at this. There's not even 57 because some of these are not even correct search results. There's probably 50 or less on the market right now. If we look at the lowest ones listed, here you go. They're auctioning 820, 850. 850 is the lowest listed to buy it now. And the auctions, it looks like they're going to hit around 850. So it's over 10% up in a matter of months. There's only 50-something available on the entire market out of almost 10,000. And people are holding them. So obviously a lot of people believe in them or just want them that badly. So I don't know. Umbreon could be a good investment. I'm just saying. Not telling everyone to FOMO into Umbreon. I'm just saying there's more to it than just saying the pop reports are high and it's overrated or whatever people like to say. You have to look into data and numbers and to understand how markets move. But I'm always going to be more for buying raw and graded because you can get exponential returns right when it gets graded at 10, right? So I still believe in grading. I have a 2017 sealed collection that I priced out on eBay worth $1,500. I'm thinking about selling. Hey, man, if that's what you want to do, cash in. Never a bad idea to take some profits. Haven't you heard grading is no longer profitable? All experts have made it known last week. Here's my question. What are those experts doing? Because they better not be grading cards, and they better not be holding on to graded cards. They better be just like slashing their prices, sending it all to auction, and better not be doing it. Because they better not be telling all of us to do something that they're not doing, right? Right? But let me go back 2 years. Do you remember 2-3 years ago? How many people were saying that modern sealed is not investable? Do I need to show you the video I made? Do I need to show you the clip video I made where I clipped all these different YouTubers all saying that modern sealed wasn't investable 2 to 3 years ago? Do we need to bring that up? Because if we bring that up and then bring up all of modern sealed boxes and what they've done in the past 2 to 3 years, let's just say that video hasn't aged well. And a lot of those people behind the scene now suddenly, I have modern product. I believe in modern product. They're buying modern product. Why is that? Is it do as I say, not as I do? Or what is it? How does that go? Just guys, pay close attention to what people are actually doing behind the scenes, right? Go look at their eBay stores, right? Go look at how they're actually making their money and the things they're doing. Because a lot of times they don't align with the things they're saying. And then they'll say things like, well, it's right for me, but it might not be right for everyone. Give us a break. All right, let's be honest here. There's enough money for all of us. Don't hide stuff. Like the thumbnail, the cabal. I know, right? The cabal. You know what's so funny, guys? Me and my wife talk about it. Ever since like the whole cabal thing, it's been like showing up other places. Like I'll be on other streams, like not even in Pokemon, and people will talk about like the Dono cabal. Like we'll be watching shows and movies, and they'll like somehow like they'll talk about the cabal, like of like political. Like that word just keeps popping up in my life. It's like searching me out. It's so funny. It's just funny how that's weird stuff happens. It seems like that's becoming more used, the term cabal, in like other aspects of life too. Oh, man. 60% of Americans have less than $500 in savings. Jimbo Slice, let me throw this at you. Fidelity and Bank of America both put out reports about 401k balances rising. There's more 401k millionaires than ever in history, meaning people have invested in their 401ks. Their 401ks have grown in value, and they're not taking it out because if they took out the money, right, they wouldn't be a 401k millionaire. So they're still in the money. So could it be because people are investing and maybe paying off their houses faster, maybe putting it into 401k, putting it in alternative assets like Pokemon? Could it be because all this, the Grant Cardone, like all that rhetoric, the Robert Kiyosaki's, maybe they're starting to get the people. The whole cash is trash mentality. Maybe people are no longer holding cash in the bank and they're buying assets left and right to grow in value. So this is another thing. Be careful when you hear these headlines about savings accounts, right? Because I'll tell you right now, I don't have a lot in my savings account, right? It's invested. I got it in my brokerage account. Now, if you want to talk about like TD Ameritrade brokerage accounts, I got money there, right? I got money in Pokemon. I got money in inventory. Like I have money, we're paying down our house. I have tons of equity in my house. Like I got money, but I don't keep a lot of cash either. So it's hard when you start looking at those headlines about bank savings account balances dropping. It doesn't always mean they're spending it. They could be putting it in smarter places. So just take that into consideration, or moving it into like bonds and things. Now that things are paying 5% guaranteed interest, like there's a lot of things people could be doing with their money other than savings accounts where it might make that look bad, but it might not tell the whole story. So just keep that in mind. These are things you got to think about, people. Don't be mindless drones. Don't believe the headlines and all the doom and gloom. Like think about things. What do they call it? Critical thinking. Like you have to have critical thinking skills when you're trying to navigate this day and age of the media and the clickbait and all the YouTube BS. That's a very real thing. I would say that was threshold is lower than 1K, probably near 500-ish. 500 is more liquid. Yeah. Anything under $500 seems pretty liquid in this hobby, whether it be cards or boxes. And then I would say anything under $100 is almost like an impulse buy in this hobby. People will just, see it, want it, price is good, they'll buy it. They won't even think much about it. So yeah, bulk is definitely a grind. Pokemon is doing really bad. That's why they opened a new printing facility in Netherlands, ship from there in the EU. My Paradox for booster box cases have different tape and shape. What? They have a different shape and tape? Really? Haven't heard about that. That's interesting to hear. I'll have to look into more of that. I didn't know they were doing that. I know like they had like half booster boxes in like different countries. I haven't heard of like full cases of regular size boxes being shipped differently, and that's weird. Mason's a bulk millionaire. Talk to Mason about it, guys. Mason will tell you what's up. Mason's grinding the bulk game. Again, Mason has employees. Love you, Mason. Oh, people talk about pre-grading. Yeah. So guys, pre-grading, if you're new to this, it's just looking over your cards before you send them in, making sure you have no corner wear, no dings and dents, no dents in the card, no marks on the card. It's well centered, things like that. It's making sure that you have the best opportunity to get that high grade as possible. So pre-grading is no big deal. In your opinion, what do you expect from Chilling Reign to be priced at the end of 2024, bro? My name is Alex, by the way. Awesome to hear. Next, Alex. So first of all, I want to shout out one of my predictions. Evolving Skies Booster Box 500. There were actual sales on TCG Player last week. Some actually went for 500 before new sellers came on. I think now they're right around 500. I missed that prediction. I said Evolving Skies by 500 by the end of 2023. I missed that prediction by like 12 days. Chilling Reign, I'll put it out there right now. I'm going to call Chilling Reign $220 a box. $220 a box by the end of 2024. I said it. I put it out there. That's what I think. I think we're going to see rapid growth on Sword and Shield era this year as more people continue to buy into it, as they fear that their fear of missing out starting in. And they're starting to see Scarlet and Violet era is like halfway through almost, and really likely no more reprints are coming, and they're going to keep snatching it up before they miss out completely. So yeah, I could see Chilling Reign over $200. I'm going to call 220 as my price point. Alex, what do you see Chilling Reign boxes being next Thursday? 161.82, Mason. And can you openly purchase mini tin displays collection boxes through Eli's Patreon, or is the only 151 readily available dish for UPCs and ETBs? I believe so. I believe it's basically an open list. Eli's Patreon is an open list of pretty much everything his distributor offers, I believe. I'd have to look. I haven't looked at specifically that product, but yeah, I mean, they have all that kind of, all those little other items for every different set that you can purchase. It's not just the mainline products. So yeah, I would believe so. 3-pack blisters or ETBs. I like specialty set ETBs, right? I like Crown Zenith and 151 ETBs, especially at the price points. I would say for mainline sets, if the promos are good, 3-pack blisters, right? If it's like an Evolution or a popular Pokemon, a Mew, Mewtwo, something like that, I would personally probably go 3-pack blisters. But you know, that's just me. All right, guys, few more minutes here. Like I said, I wasn't going to keep you all afternoon. What do you think possible higher rarity Pokemon could put in their upcoming sets? Serialized cards. I want serialized cards eventually. I mean, guys, here's the thing. Think about this, all right? Let me, you know, people have said things like they need to make something like 1 per case or 1. Guys, the Moonbryon was way more than 1 per case. It was like 1 in 500 packs. There's 10,000 PSA 10s. There's 13,000 graded. There's tons more out there in the wild raw. There's too much of this stuff to be that it's printed nowadays because of Pokemon's demand to really have a chase that's not serialized at this point. Unless you want to make it like 1 hit per pallet, like maybe that would be good enough to not be serialized. But I truly think Pokemon is going to have to get to the point where sports is with serialized cards, and where what Magic did with the Lord of the Rings. I mean, it just seems like it's inevitable at this point to give the collector something to chase. I talked about it in Eli stream. Every other card game almost has cards over $1,000 raw. One Piece, thousands of dollar cards. Dragon Ball Super, when it was out, over $1,000 raw cards, right? Lorcana has $1,000 raw cards. I mean, I think Flesh and Blood does. Like, look at other card games. They have $1,000 raw cards, no grading necessary. Pokemon never has that. No modern set has that. I mean, the best sets, I mean, the Moonbryon's the closest one at like $400 or $500, right? Every other card's like $100, $200, maybe $300 if you really get lucky, but that's it. That's the best card you're going to pull out of a Pokemon set. I just think there needs to be a better chase for collectors. And you know what? If they want to make it like non-playable, non-tournament legal, just so the players don't get all, you know, bent out of shape because they can't get it for playability, make it non-playable then. Make a non-tournament legal card. I don't care. Or continue to make how they do it. Make the exact same attributes on a lesser expensive same card of that. Make that the alt art, you know, whatever it is. But like, I think Pokemon's got to the point where they catered to players enough. They need to cater to collectors again. It kind of goes to that whole game piece conversation. They got, in this day and age, we got to get off the whole game pieces. Everyone deserves to have every card. No, they don't. Everyone doesn't deserve to have every single card. Let's see. See how much that whole discussion pissed people off. Moonbryon's too cheap. Mason's really pissing people off today with that. Moonbryon is too cheap. What economy is crashing? Not sure. That's just what we hear. I'm just repeating what the news articles and the doom and gloom YouTubers tell me. Yeah, Jay. It's different though, right? There was way less printed. They weren't a mainline item. No one wanted them, so there weren't many. And then when they became popular, people went back and started collecting them, and they got eaten up really quick. And that's why all those XY, black and white, some of those Sun and Moon booster or ETBs are so high. I wouldn't expect that for Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. That's just me. So it's a different market. I wouldn't think just because, you know, the popularity isn't there for those ETBs right now, it's going to return. It may return a little bit, but I wouldn't expect these ETBs to ever be $200, $300, $400, $500, $1,000. I don't think that's going to happen. PokeKid, this could be a real thing. I mean, buying the 10s and submitting to Beckett and trying to get the black labels. Because here's the thing. If the cards are really clean and even you get the pristine label Beckett, those still sell for more than the 10. So you can probably still get your fees and shipping back and really not lose anything. Now, if you get a 9.5, that's when you really start getting hurt pretty bad by doing this. But, hey, it could be a play. I mean, it's definitely a play. If you hit one of those black labels, what is it, like $3,500? The gains are exponential. Like it's literally the same thing as buying raw cards and grading and getting that exponential gain on grading a card. You're just buying already graded cards, cracking them and resubmitting them, trying to hit that black label. It's the same thing, right? When you think about grading a raw card, a lot of times nowadays a 9 breaks you even or loses you a little money. A 10 makes you your money, makes you exponential gains. Same thing. You're just playing at a higher level with higher dollar amounts. If you got the dollars to play with, play, right? Play. Go buy some 10s, crack them, send them to Beckett. The 10s, the pristine 10s, you're probably going to make a little money and you break even. The 9.5s, you're going to lose. And the black labels, you're going to make out like a bandit and hit a home run. It only takes one black label to pay for, like, I don't know, tons of failed ones, tons of failed 9.5s and pristine 10s. Could be the play. Could be the play. It's risk. It's very risky. It's a lot of money. Could be the play, though. Sleeve boosters. I just had a conversation, a Discord call with someone last night about this very thing. They're always a bit expensive, more than non-sleeve blisters. Old sets at double the value. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, they're great plays, especially when you can get them at distribution level or at or around that, under retail, whatever. Yes, they're good plays. When you sell the set of 4, they sell very well, premiums over booster packs, even sometimes over booster boxes. Sometimes if you take the set of 4 and you multiply that and make it into 36 packs, what is that, times 9? That those actually sell for more than the booster box sometimes. It's kind of crazy. We were talking about it last night, me and someone. Here's the thing. I don't know how scalable it is. Booster boxes are scalable, right? They're very high liquidity even when they get into 2, 3, 400s, even after sets age 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Sleeve blisters, once they start getting older and these sets get older, they do become less liquid and the sales start to dwindle. So I would say maybe make it a part of your portfolio, right? Maybe get a case or 2, but it's harder to get out of them as they age. And so stocking up on like tons and tons of cases and then trying to sell them individually as like individual packs or 4, man, you're going to be waiting for eternity for them all to sell, in my opinion. So it's a great play. It just depends on how you want to go about it. And for me, again, not telling you what to do, but for me, if I move into them, which I might, it'll probably be a small part of my portfolio, maybe a case or 2 on the sets I want to do it in. That's it. Don picked up a Ninetales base unlimited for less than $10, fresh from a rip. Woo! Congrats on that one, Don. That's a pickup. Yeah, exactly. If you don't have the money for the booster boxes, sleeve blisters are a way to go. And they're easier to sell. They're easier in terms of the buying point, like the price point, because more people can afford them, but they have less liquidity because they're less popular. And so they can still sell at a lower rate than booster boxes, unfortunately. Alex popularized the term cabal. Guilty. I had to come up with a name for it. Like I couldn't just keep talking about the group of people or the niche of this hobby. Like it was just the perfect word. It's like the definition is something like, a group of individuals who like plot in the shadows without the knowledge of the general public to to manipulate markets. I'm like, this is the perfect term. Like it's more commonly used in like politics and things like that, but it is, or like, it's the perfect term because that's what happens. Like people get behind like certain paywalls or certain like private discords or certain private groups. And they talk about these things, right? People, market manipulations happen for centuries. Like it's always going to happen. It's not just Pokemon. It's every market. It's not like, it's not like a special thing to Pokemon, but yeah, people get together, sometimes with large amounts of money, and they talk about certain products, certain cards that they see opportunity where they can manipulate. And a lot of the times it's cards with lower supply, because with lower supply, it's easier. It doesn't take as much money to manipulate the markets. And yeah, they buy out large amounts of that product or card. The markets, they pump the markets and they start selling into the strength of the market. And then it gets really bad if they use their influence to actually promote it, like on a YouTube or Twitch or something like that. That's where it really gets kind of sinister. But I mean, you know, it happens behind the scenes all the time, guys. It is what it is. And yeah, I coined the term cabal, and then everyone's wondering like, well, who's in the cabal? Who's Alex putting in that category? Which we're not going into that. It's just fun, guys. But no, market manipulation happens. People do it. But yeah, it's fun, guys. It's all for fun. This would be a great poll. But here's the problem with polls is, you know, people lie. Like a lot of people never give their honest answers. So like, it'd be cool to know what everyone spends a month, but you just never know. If people don't have savings, that just means they're spending every penny they have on Pokemon. I like the way you think, Mason. That's got to be what it is. The best thing I got, reverse Delta species, PSA 9 Espeon, and cracked it. It's perfect. Good luck on that. Good luck. Let's see what we got. Don's gifted memberships 5. Don just gifted 5 memberships. Guys, Don's on fire today. Don, dude, I appreciate all the support, man. Like, Don's the true champion of this channel. He's in every pack break. He's always donating memberships. He's always, you know, showing love in the chat. He's always helping people with questions. I mean, Don, you're a rock star. I appreciate you, man. You don't have anything in TD Ameritrade that doesn't exist? What are you talking about? Is it what? Because it's Think or Swim? Is that what? Because it's Think or Swim? Did they get bought out? They got bought out by somebody? I don't know. I don't keep it. Everyone's always getting bought out. Scott Trade got bought out. I mean, I don't pay attention to that. All I know is it's the same brokerage I've been logging into for the past, I don't know, 15 years or something. So that's where my money's at. Does anyone ever worry about putting too many eggs in one basket? You should always worry about that. Absolutely. But fortune favors the brave. For average people, it makes sense to diversify. If you're trying to get, kind of jump the line, not really get rich quick, but get better than expected gains and kind of shorten your working life down and outperform, then anyone in history that's done that, the successful ones, like they put everything in one, right? Like Warren Buffett's talked about it. He didn't diversify. Like he only picked a handful of stocks. Anyone who's the biggest entrepreneurs, they went all in on their businesses. They didn't spend time doing other things. They didn't have hobbies. They didn't have side income or side, gigs. They went all in on one thing. A lot of the, crypto people, they were all in on crypto, right? They didn't worry about all the BS. Like, people who go all in on their content creation, they become huge content creators. And so fortune does favor those who do give it all they got and go in on one thing and put all their energy and effort towards it. But yeah, there's a lot of people who fail doing that. And it's safer to just diversify and do things that way. But you can always do something in the middle, right? You can take a little more risky investments, right? Still diversify a little, still not throw all your eggs in one basket, but you could definitely put more eggs in one basket and try to jump the line and maybe make what you would have made in like 30 years of investing and try to shorten that down to maybe 20 or 15 years of investing. So whatever works for people, guys. I'm just here to give you ideas, pique your imagination. You guys run with it. Let's see. Yeah, square tape and that's wild. White and blue. Some wild stuff going on in the Netherlands over there. Pokey department store. I like it. Using the emojis. I like it. I like it. Mason's a true G baller. Absolutely. Mason is the original G baller. How do you think they'd manage reprints if they ever serialize cards? Maybe don't reprint a set. I know it's crazy, right? It's crazy. Like to just release one set and just not print it into oblivion so it actually has value, like, you know, One Piece sets do. I know. It's a crazy thought process. But maybe you could just print a set and not reprint it. Or you could just come out and say, you know, there's going to be this many print runs and whatever. I don't know. I don't know how they would manage that. But it'd be interesting to see. I mean, sports cards obviously do it. So obviously there's a method to doing it. Sports cards do it all the time. So, and they have one of ones. And so it's definitely possible. Yeah, it's just a perfect example. Shaq sports cards. With the rates savings accounts give you, it makes sense to have less money in a savings account. Guys, why would you let a bunch of money sit in a checking or a savings account? Like, other than having some money for emergencies, I mean, at least put it in something, even a risk-free investment, that a money market or a bond or just something that pays you some percentage, even if you don't want to go as risky as Pokemon or single stocks, or even if you don't want to put it in mutual funds or 401k, whatever. It's like, man, money sitting in savings accounts these days, it's like dead money. You might as well almost put it in a safe at that point. What about market cap per card? Isn't a higher market cap better than a higher price point? How would a price point rise, but the market cap not rise as well? I'm confused. Like, I understand it's the market cap. So guys, if you don't know, market cap is the combination of one item or one card times the amount it's selling for, the market price, and that gives you the total amount of money in that card or item. A market cap, I mean, unless it's like a booster box and you're decreasing the supply as the price is rising, the market cap may go unchanged or go down if too many boxes are but like for a card, unless like cards are being destroyed, if a market cap of a card rises, the price of a card rises, the market cap just has to rise by default. So I don't know what you really mean by that. How much graded cards do you have for Alex, and how much sell when grading? How much graded cards do you have for Alex? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Boondock, I don't even think gold stars are good enough. I'll be honest with you. Like, what were gold stars? One in how many? Like, I think the only reason gold stars are as scarce as they are, as rare as they are, is because there just wasn't any product printed in mid-era. Like, Pokemon was so dead during that time. Even if you took gold star rarities, I mean, it's arguable that alt arts are gold star rarities. Is it not? Like, that's the same type of thing. Like, 1 in 500 packs. I remember watching a Burning Shadows opening back in the day of one Charizard Rainbow Rare getting pulled out of 1,000 packs. You could pull a gold star. You could pull multiple gold stars out of 1,000 packs. So it needs to be a higher level of rarity to where it's like one per pallet of cases of booster boxes. Like, there's just too many people involved in Pokemon. There's way too much product being printed and opened. And even gold star rarities probably wouldn't be enough these days. Oh, my bad. Thought that was your headline. Yeah, PokeTubers need to touch grass. Local shows and shops are packed with collectors. Absolutely, every day. Unpopular opinion, Pokemon shouldn't change a thing. It's clear they have a book they are going by. SV seems almost exactly like Sword and Shield. Charizard set, playable set, couple of sets run by one or two. Well, I mean, that's fine, but they have to always change things, right? They have to. You have to, or I mean, if they would have never changed anything in X and Y, boxes would have been $500 out of the gate or something. where they had to ramp up print runs. If they never ramp down print runs when demand isn't at pandemic level highs, then you'll see boxes going for $50 probably. I don't know, like maybe not 50, but like in the 70s for sure, and they'll be sitting there. And so a company always has to adjust based on the market demands. You can't just pick a number and say, I'm going to print this many forever and ever. And so there's always got to be things that you change. And if people, they always do the same thing every single era, eventually people get bored, things get stagnant, they stale, and the popularity will die. So I think they always need to be innovating, man. Under Armour is back. I get so much heat for everything. Like I get heat for my clothes, and so I wear like my merch, and I'll wear like some Into the AM stuff now because like you guys gave me so much shit about Abercrombie, and then my Under Armour hats, I get so much shit about those. And then what happens is I grow my hair out. You know, you guys say I'm wearing hats because I'm going bald, and then I grow my hair out, and then everyone go look at my videos I've been posting lately. Every single comment section now, there's at least 1 to 3 people saying get a haircut. So I grow my hair out. Now I need a haircut. Like first I'm going bald. Now I need a haircut. Here, there you go, guys. The hair's long. We're not going bald. All right. Like, but now I need a haircut. It's like, what do you guys want from me? What do you want? Oh, it's so funny. The internet's a wild place. It's definitely not for the thin-skinned. Hey, glad you stopped by too, Miltank's uncle. Appreciate you being here. Cabalin. Love it. What do you guys think? Next t-shirt, should I make Cabalin? I'm thinking about having a Cabalin t-shirt, get a folks t-shirt. I'm working right now. New merch is coming, guys. I'm working right now with a t-shirt company that I'm going to be moving the merch operation to, and we're working on designs, and we're trying to get it going right now. I got text from him I got to answer right after this live, so we're working on it. We're going to have some good merch coming. I like it. Everyone's always asking for Steve. I need to talk to Steve. I haven't talked to him in a while. I'll get in contact with Steve. Appreciate you, Don. I support because your advice is solid and your content is solid. Really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. Let's see what we got. Last few questions here. Cabal is a perfect word? The term is frequently employed as an anti-Semitic dog whistle. I don't know about that, man. I'm just going off the definition. Like the definition of cabal kind of explained what goes on in collectible hobbies like this, right? Like the definition of a cabal, I mean, I'm sure we could look it up. I will do that because I don't think there's any, like, anyone can make a word, you know, bad or good. Like, I don't think there's any anti-Semitism. I didn't mean anything like that. I don't know if there's anything that goes into it. Let's see. So I'll share it. Ready? A cabal is a group of people who are united in some closed design, usually to promote their private views or interest in an ideology, a state, or another community, often by intrigue, and usually without the knowledge of those who are outside of their group. That's it. That is it to a definition of exactly what happens in this hobby. You can't deny that. Like, you cannot deny that statement. People get together. They have their private views and interests and ideologies they all talk about behind closed doors, and then without the knowledge of the outside group that they try to push onto the general public. Like, that is it. That's the cabal. There's no hidden meanings behind it. It's just face value. Got my first PSA submission back and made 400 profit. It works. So cool. Thanks for your content, Alex. In Switzerland. I love it. Love hearing. Guys, I've had so many people reach out to me with success stories, whether it be from investing and stuff, from flips they've made, from watching the channel. I got asked. So if you guys don't know, I was on Coffee Talks podcast, DJ Gigabyte's channel with him and David Person. And I got asked. They asked me, or David asked me, he goes, Alex, have you had any issue with people upset with you about, your advice and things not working out. And I said, David, it's actually the exact opposite. I haven't had anyone reach out to me that had been upset. Every single email, private DM, Instagram, private DM, Discord comment I get, live chat I get is success stories. People telling me how they've, about One Piece lately. Everyone's saying, Alex, I'm so glad I listened to you back when you mentioned One Piece. I made such a killing off this. Like, someone's even said they were going to buy a car off what they made. I don't know how much they made. They said they were going to buy a car. I mean, so many people being successful with the flipping, with the grading, with investing in sealed. And I haven't had any negative stuff. I've told David the same thing. The only negative thing I've had in this whole community so far is other people, like in the community, other YouTubers mad at me or hating on me for maybe how I've come about, how my channel started, maybe coming at people a little too hard, maybe, being a little too much in their face, a little too brash. And for some of the ways I present information, for having my takes are I'm very one-dimensional. Like I have very, very strong takes on things. I don't play the whole sit the fence game, and that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And so I get it. And honestly, I'm glad. I would so much rather be hated on for that, for my personality and kind of how I do things, than hated on for giving poor advice. Because no one, and I haven't even been really criticized for any advice I've given or anything that I've shown on my channel. It's really just criticized me as a person. That's fine. Hey, I get it. We're all effed up, right? I'm sure I'm effed up as a person. My personality probably gets on people's nerves. That's fine. As long as the advice is sound, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So yeah, for sure. Glad to hear that. My question comes down to wouldn't you rather have a higher market cap Pokemon may have more of chase card printed, but the market cap is higher than the market cap for serialized? Oh, no. No, do you mean for us or for Pokemon? I mean, I would rather have a serialized card. The market cap isn't as important as the guaranteed rarity of that, right? Like having a number assigned to it where there's no guesswork of how many are out there, right? No one ever knows how many are out there. And, oh, wow, look at PSA. Another 10 first edition Charizards popped up on the pop report. Where'd those come from? Or all these Pikachu illustrators that are all of a sudden coming up out of nowhere. Like I would much rather go after the actual numbered, engraved on the card, actual serialized over a higher market cap. Which, by the way, you don't even know. I mean, those may be so expensive. The market cap may be so outrageous that it might be more than a lot of the mass printed cards. You never know. Oh, they don't need to make a higher rarity. Literally just call SIR gold stars and make them cool. Oh man, see, I disagree with you there, Boondock, man. I think we need a higher rarity. It's too easy. It's getting too boring. A new set's released and overnight a bunch of mass box breakers open stuff, and overnight there's just plentiful of the top hits in the entire set everywhere litter the market. Right. And then a month later, everyone rushes their cards. And then the PSA 10 pop reports are immediately hundreds or 1,000 in months. And it's just I just think it's time, with the amount of interest in Pokemon, for a higher level of rarity that not everyone and their brother can get their hands on, type thing. I understand we need it for the players, but we can make a card that isn't for players. We can support collectors and players at the same time in Pokemon. Yeah, that's a good point. Quantity can change. That's what I was saying about the booster boxes. Quantity, if a reprint comes, it'll lower the market cap, even if the price stays the same. Yeah, absolutely. But with quantity of cards, right, the quantity can only go up, right? So the price can, go up or down, but if the price goes up, unless cards are getting destroyed, the market cap can't go down on cards really after, you know what I'm saying? That was my point. I mean, I don't think there's a scenario where the market cap can rise on a card, but the price point can rise on a card, but the market cap falls on a card, unless we're just burning up that card or something and disappearing them from the market. Yeah, Alex, you need a haircut. Looks thin. Dude, you need a shave too. Look at all these people. Hairline. Oh, I love you guys. I feel the love. You do you. I'm not too big, but when I slim down, I am wearing my Hollister and I don't give an F. It's like at 17. Absolutely, man. Hey, I think, Jason, here's what it is. A lot of these guys, they're just mad they can no longer fit into the clothes they wore when they were in high school. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is, all right? Just because I can still fit into my clothes I wear when I was in high school doesn't mean you got to hate on me. Alex is the cabal. Uh-oh. The mastermind. Oh, man. Shovels is he's correcting me. Saying Under Armour's back makes you feel heat. You're assuming negative undertone in my comment. What if I think it fits you well? I think it fits me well, so I appreciate that. I hope you think the same. Oh, let's see. All right, guys. We're going to end it there. I think I pretty much hit everything. Really appreciate all you guys stopping by today. Again, I will shout it out one more time before we leave. One more time. Let me go ahead and share the screen while everyone's still in here. All right. Nostalgianomics.com. Live box break tomorrow on the channel, 7 p.m. Central Time. We got Silver Tempest. We got Paldea Evolved. We got Hidden Fates. They're all going to be from sealed booster boxes or sealed ETBs, no loose packs. And even if you aren't going to get involved in the pack break, make sure to show up. Just hang out, chat, have a good time. We always have fun. I mean, almost every box break, I think we've hit some big hits. It's always a great time. So I hope to see you all there for that. Just remember, guys, things are never as bad as they seem. Anytime you see news articles or TikToks or YouTube stuff with negative stuff, maybe just in another tab, right? Or when you're done with that video, just look up like actual data and stuff that supports what that person was saying. And maybe it's true. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe the data goes against it, and you can kind of be, be more educated for yourself, so you don't get, tied into all the drama stuff. So hope you guys had a good time. Continue to do well in the market. Hope you keep hearing more of those success stories. And I'll be back here in a new video tomorrow.